Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I decided that I want to show you guys all the books that I want to read in the month of June. And it's actually kind of a lot of books, so I don't think I'll read them all, but I still wanted to show you guys. So let's just jump in because there is a lot of books. So the first couple books is part of a box set. It's the book of the Air Trilogy by, who's this by? Holly Black. You guys have probably seen this on TikTok because it's very popular, but it comes with 3 books: The Cruel Prince, Wicked King, and then Queen of Nothing. This, I don't know much about like the actual plot of it. All I know is like the main character, which is named Jude, and then I know that there's like the smallest bit of romance, but I don't know what the actual book is about. But it is like a fantasy. I'm pretty sure it is YA, so it's not very like explicit and gruesome, I think. At least I don't think. And this is like the first book that I'm gonna read that's like about like fays and like fairies, I think, because I'm pretty sure they're like in the fae world or realm. But yeah, I'm very excited to read this. I don't think I'm gonna read all of them. I think my main goal is just to read the first one. If I can read all 3 of them, then that'll be great, but my goal is really just the first one. Another really popular trilogy is one that was popular like a long time ago, and it's The Maze Runner. The Maze Runner is one of my favorite movies, so I wanted to like read the book. The cover is kind of ugly, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know, I kind of wanted to see, because a lot of people say that the books are very different than the movies. Like they took out a lot of things from the book that weren't in the movies, and I think it's the second one that's like completely different from the actual book, so I kind of wanted to read the book, kind of see for myself. And also, this was popular when I was like in middle school. Like I remember people reading this all the time. I was never a reader in middle school, so I kind of want to read books that were popular when I was in middle school. So dystopian was a very big thing. So Divergent, Hunger Games, Maze Runner, they were all very popular, so I want to read like more books that were popular at the time. So this is one of them. Like I said, Maze Runner is one of my favorite movies, and I'm really excited to see like how this book like compares to it. Will I still prefer the movies, or will I like the book? I don't think I'm gonna read the entire trilogy, but I did want to just give the first one a try. Next is The Inheritance Games. So this is another very popular book on TikTok. I've seen a lot of people comparing it to the movie Knives Out, which I still haven't even watched, but I do want to watch it just to kind of get a feel for like the vibes that this is going for. From what I know about it is basically this girl gets like an email or like a letter or something telling her that she basically is inheriting a bunch of money from like this one guy. I don't even know who the guy is. I don't know if he's related to her or not, but he basically says like, here's my inheritance or whatever, but you have to like stay in this house, and it's like the house has already people like living in it, and it's like his relatives who like basically just found out that he gave his inheritance to like this random girl. And there's like, I think there's like riddles and like puzzles and stuff, and I know that there's like a love triangle, I think, in it. And this is a trilogy as well. I think the second book is out, but I think the third one still has yet to come out. But I'm very excited. The chapters are also very short in this one. People say that it's very fast paced, so I'm very excited to read this one. Another TikTok book is The Honeymooners. This is one of the like the earlier like TikTok books. Like when I first joined TikTok, this was still very popular. Like this, Beach Read, all those types of books were like the main like books that people were recommending. So this one is The Honeymooners, and I think this goes kind of well with like the summer vibes of like June. From what I know, this girl and this guy are part of like this wedding, but they're the only ones that don't get like sick, and there's like a honeymoon up for grabs, so they like go, and I think they pretend to be like the couple, whatever. That's all I really know about it. I do know that people say that the ending was kind of like underwhelming, or like the ending was just not it. I'm excited to read it. I'm excited because it's like summer vibes, and the cover, just like, what about it doesn't scream summer? So the next book, it gives me like a good girl's guide to murder like vibes, and that's one of my favorite books. So this is called The Cheerleaders. It's by Cara Thomas, and it's also YA. It's like a small town murder mystery about like a murder case that happened like, I think this one was 5 years ago. But basically, like, in this town, like, cheerleaders were all murdered or whatever. So this girl, which is the sister of one of the cheerleaders, tries to like solve the murder. And again, it reminds me of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, in the sense of it's like, it's a small town and this girl is trying to figure out the murder that happened a while ago. This is one of those books, like, I never heard anything about this on TikTok. I haven't seen it on TikTok. I kind of just found it one day and was like, oh, the cheerleaders. Because I do cheer, and I was like, oh, kind of, like, I don't know, it piqued my interest. And then I found out it was a YA murder mystery, and I was like, oh. Because it was also at the time of, like, I had just read Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and I was kind of looking for more mysteries. So I saw this, and I was like, that's the one. So if you saw my previous video, which is reading vlog on the selection, you saw that I got these two books in the mail. These two are the first in the Addicted / like Calloway Sister series. I know they're like combined or like intertwined or something. These are the first two in the Addicted series. So this is Addicted to You, and then this is Ricochet. These are, again, very popular on TikTok. They're literally everywhere. I try to skip them because like I don't want spoilers, because I eventually wanted to read them. Then I saw that these two books were getting new covers, and I didn't like the way that the new covers looked. They were very similar to this, except like the font and the color of it like changed, and I was just not a fan of it. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy the first two, and then we'll go from there. I don't know if I'll read both of them. The goal is, again, just to read the first one, but I don't know much of it, because again, I tried not to get spoiled, but I do know that it's about Lily and, what's his name? Lauren, but everyone calls him Lo, and they're both like addicts, and they like, I guess they fall in love or something, and they're like best friends, but that's all I really know about it, because again, I don't want to spoil myself because I want like the full experience of reading it. And I think there's 10 books in the series, and people like hype this book so much. So very intrigued, but also scared that it's not going to live up to the hype. So as I told you, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder is one of my favorite books, and it is part of a trilogy, and this is the second book. It's called Good Girl, Bad Blood. I don't know if I'm going to read it. Hopefully, maybe. Sometimes I get like in the mood to like read a mystery or something. So basically it's after like what happened in the first book. Like she solved that mystery, and now it's a new mystery, and she has like a podcast now, I think, which I think is really cool. That's all I really know about this one. I don't think this like connects to the first book. I do really want to read the third one as well, but it's not in paperback, and I don't want to have a hardcover when the rest are like paperback. So the next two books are by the same author, and the first one is Reminders of Him. This is about Kenna, and basically she like goes to jail for some reason. I'm sure we'll find out in the book, and she goes back to her town to basically get her daughter back, but like no one is like being nice to her, and like nobody wants her to get her daughter back, and we don't know why, but she's gonna basically fight for her daughter. She meets Ledger, I think, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna help you like get your daughter back, I think. That's all I really know about this one, but I have heard that people really like this one, and people have cried a lot to it, so I'm very scared. But I kind of like Colleen Hoover's books. They're more than just like a romance. This one has like the family aspect. Colleen Hoover has been like hit or miss with me. I've read Verity, I really liked that one, and then I read Ugly Love, and I didn't like that one as much. It wasn't my favorite. It was like eh. So I'm hoping this one will be better. And speaking of Colleen Hoover, I'm going to be reading one of her most popular books, which is It Ends With Us. I pre-ordered the second one, without even having read this one. Which I don't know if it's a good idea, but I can always cancel. I've heard a lot about this. I've heard a lot about Lily and Atlas and Ryle, and I've been spoiled a lot. This is probably the most popular book right now. Probably one of the most popular books, like, of this time. I don't know. I think everyone has pretty much read this book, and if you haven't, you have it on your TBR. So I'm pretty sure, like, there is romance, but it's not entirely romance. It kind of talks about, like, abuse and stuff like that. It's kind of about Lily and her story rather than, like, Lily and Atlas or Lily and Ryle. It's more about, like, Lily and her experiences and her abuse. So I'm very excited. Again, like I said, it's more, her books are more than just romance. So I'm very excited to read it. And I know they are making it into a movie, so I'm excited to see that when it comes out. But I'm also scared for this book because I know that people like to hype up books a lot. And I don't think I've ever heard anything bad about this, but I have heard a lot of people say it's overhyped or she has better books. So I'm still excited to read it, but I am a little scared that I'm not going to like it as much as I think I will. Okay, and last but not least, I want to read The Fine Print this month. So this is by Lauren Asher. It is part of the Dreamland Billionaires series. They're like interconnected standalones, and this is the first book. It's called The Fine Print. I originally was gonna go get Lauren Asher's what is it called? The Dirty Air series, which is like a Formula One racing inspired like series. The first book is called Throttle, but they didn't have it, so I just picked up a different one of her books. It's basically like there's 3 brothers, and each one has to do like certain something to get their share of the inheritance or whatever. And basically this one is about Rowan, and he has to like do something with like their amusement park. It's very Disneyland themed. Obviously, as you can see, it's like looks like a castle. And I think the girl Zara like helps him. I'm pretty sure this is also like Grumpy Sunshine, so I'm very excited to read that. And this also has a playlist. This is the first book I've ever gotten with a playlist. It has songs from X Ambassadors, Arctic Monkeys, Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift. So I'm very excited to read this. Also, one of my favorite things is sometimes I'll flip through the books, but each little chapter has like a little roller coaster, but they're all different like roller coasters. See? I don't know. I love it when authors like get creative with like stuff like that in their books. Like if you've ever read The Love Hypothesis, each chapter has a different hypothesis based on the chapter. And I think that's really cool when authors do that. Okay guys, that was it for my June TBR. I'm very excited to read all these books. Tell me down below what other types of videos you guys want to see from me, or if you guys want to see reading vlogs on any of these books, please let me know and I will try to do it. But I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!